guys, and welcome back to a channel. Excuse the way I look. We listen and we don't judge on this channel. It is literally 30 degrees and I am absolutely boiling, so excuse the way that I look. But today, if you haven't gathered by the title of today's video, we are going to be discussing my summer TBR. Now guys, I am not going to lie to you, I don't usually make seasonal TBRs, but I have been in such a big reading mood this year. I've been wanting to smash out all these really good reads, so I feel like it was only fair that I give you kind of what's on my summer TBR. Now, these are just books that I am really in the mood for. This is not books matched to this year, to this season. This is literally books that I either want to read, need to read, or have just been something that's been on my TBR for a while. I really want to get used to them. So I feel like we're going to stop rambling for this intro and we are just going to get into the video. So we are going to start with books that are on my physical TBR that I would like to read for the months of summer, basically. So we have got The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Now, I'm a very big Abby Jimenez stan. I've loved all of her books, and I really feel like I've been really putting this off because of a specific trope in here, but also not that many people have liked it, and I'm really scared that I'm gonna feel the exact same. But I am gonna give it a big go, and I'm just gonna see what I feel, basically. So we are gonna read The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, and I probably predict this to be a 3-star. That is going to be my prediction, is a 3-star. We then have Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher, which is a book that I recently got gifted by a lovely, wonderful friend of mine. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I've been really wanting to read it for such a long time. I feel like now is the perfect time to do it. And I feel like it's been on my mind for a little while. So I feel like I am just going to get into reading it, really. And I think I'm going to rate this a 4-star. We then have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, I've literally watched everyone's nans, grands, mums, everybody read this, and I feel like I am missing out, and I really just want to read it. So I've wanted to read it for so long, but I'm so scared. But I do love a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I think I am going to rate this a 5-star. We then have The Names by Florence Knapp, which is a really short general fiction book, and I really like the premise of this book, and I have been wanting to get into my general fiction era for a really long time, and I think I'm slowly getting there. So I thought The Names by Florence Knapp would be the perfect way to get me in, and I think I'm going to rate this a 4-star. We then have A Shield of Sparrows by Daphne Perry, and I've been wanting to read this for ages, guys, and I feel like this is just going to be the perfect time for me to read this. It's a big book. Summer's long, longer days are coming. I'll have more time to do it. And I really want to read it and see what everyone has been ranting and raving about. So I think I'm going to rate this either a 3 or a 4-star. To be fair, I'm not going to lie to you guys. We are then going to get into the rereads that I would love to do this summer. And one of them is probably going to be no shock, but it is A Court of Rings of Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Now, ACOTAR 6 and 7 are coming out very soon, and I need to get a move on with this reread, and I really need to sit and annotate it like I have my others. I know this is going to be a 5-star. I know, full down, hands down, no matter whatever, I will still rate this a 5-star. And I really just cannot wait to get back into this world, back in the world of ACOTAR, and just have it all pretty purple and pink and annotated. We then have By a Thread by Lucy Score, and I've been wanting to reread this for such a long time, and I feel like now is the perfect time. I have the option of my Kindle and I have the option of the physical copy, and I do plan on annotating this book, so I cannot wait for that time. And who doesn't love a good big romance book? So I know that this will be another kind of 5-star read for me. We then have 2 Emily Henry books, which is Funny Story and Happy Place. Sorry, I literally merged these 2 together. Happy Place and Funny Story. And I both know these are going to be 5 stars because they were 5 stars last time. And I cannot wait to sit and absolutely binge and annotate Emily Henry books, especially that we're not getting an Emily Henry book this year. We then have The Favourites by Lane Fargo. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. When I read this, I was not ranting and raving. I think I rated this a 3-star. However, hear me out, guys. I was in the biggest reading slump when I read this. I was not enjoying books. I didn't like them very much at the time when I was in my reading slump, and I did get a Pretty Waterstones sprayed edition. So I said to myself that when I am out of my reading slump and when I am in my era of pure reading, I said I was going to give this book a go. And I feel like now will be the perfect time to do it. So I am going to read The Favourites by Lane Fargo and see what I think. I'm not going to put a rating on this just because I don't know whether I still kind of apprehend from what I said when I did read it compared to what it will be now. But we are going to reread The Favourites by Lane Fargo. And then the last reread that we are going to do is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I think, again, we're not really going to be surprised. Summer season, sport, tennis, they're all coming together. So I will be rereading this. And I did rate this a 4-star, I believe, last time. So I know it's going to probably be the same anyway. And then I'm also going to get into my Kindle reads, guys. I have been a Kindle binger for a little while. I have had a little break from my Kindle and I feel like I am just ready to get back into Kindle reading. So the books that we are going to read on my Kindle is The Risk by Elle Kennedy. And you would have seen from a video that is due to go up this weekend. As I'm filming it, it's in the week. And I will be reading The Risk by Elle Kennedy. I read the first one and I loved it and I'm obsessed and I'm not over my off-campus binge at the moment. So I thought, why not read a Briar You series book? We then have Beautiful Find by Lola King. I've been wanting to start this dark romance series for the longest time. And I thought now would be the perfect time where I can be in the garden with my Kindle. I can read the books. I'm more into my dark romance from when I did want to start reading this. So I feel like it's only fair that I give it a good shot and hope I enjoy it. We then have Dark Soul by Tatiana Creed. I've heard such good things about this, guys, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to read this book. And I really want to see what everyone is ranting and raving for this book for. And I haven't read anything by this author before, so I am very excited to see kind of what she comes out with. I have Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I've seen this book everywhere. I've been wanting to read it and I just never really got myself to read it. And I thought it would be a cute sit by the pool or it would be a cute little beach read that we could read. And I just really want to get more into kind of different authors that I haven't read before, because I do read a lot of the same authors sometimes. I have a lot of not very many new to me authors, not anymore. I think I've very much stuck to my authors and I do really want to branch out, which is why some of these are so spread wide and thin. And then the last book that we have is Under Your Scars by Ariel N. Anderson. Again, another one where I've heard such good things about and people ranting and raving on TikTok and giving it 5 stars. And I really just want to know what everyone is kind of reading, because I need to know. I defo need to know what books people are reading, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I don't like FOMO. I don't like missing out. I feel like I do need to read. And then I do have some hopefuls on my TBR that I would love to get to. One of them being Heavenly Bodies by Imano Eru. And I have put this on my hopefuls because I think for me, I don't want to push myself into reading a book that I'm not still 100% sure that I'm going to get through or get to in those months. And I see so many good things about this book. I'm just scared. And I think that's the thing. I think I've intimidated myself by how much everyone's enjoyed it, that I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy it. So that is one of my hopefuls. We then have, I think it's just from the sheer absolute size of this book that I think it's just intimidated me to read. And I think I need kind of a strong and wide awake mentality for this, and that is The Will of the Many by James Islington, and I do want to read it. I really want to read it, but when I look at the sheer size of this book, I just panic of I'm not going to enjoy it. And I know the second book is literally longer than this, but I really hope that I can get to this, and that's why it is on my hopefuls. And then the last hopefuls on my TBR will be the My Friends by Frederick Backman. I have not read a single Frederick Backman journey book yet. I haven't started my journey with Frederick Backman. I haven't even really wanted to know too much about Frederick Backman, but I do know he is very well known and he is a very good author. He writes very well. And I feel like if I started with a standalone, it would make it easier. I don't want to start something like the Beartown trilogy and not like force myself, like I don't want to force myself to read it. Whereas if I put his standalone My Friends by Frederick Backman, I think it would be easier to read this. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I am terrified, and the day that I whip it out and I read it, I think I'm literally going to be so terrified. And then for Kindle hopefuls, we also have Akana Academy by Elise Kova. I have seen so many good things about this, but again, I don't want to push myself to read it just yet. And then we also have Face Off by Chelsea Curto as well. That is kind of another one that I think is going to be on my hopefuls, just because I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it, and I don't want to put pressure on myself to get to it. I want to read books that I am in the mood for, and the books that I have chosen for the Summer TBR are books that I'm in the mood for. I just want to make sure that I'm genuinely in the mood for them. But that is all for today's video. I know it was short, sweet, and not as chatty as normal, but to be fair, there isn't that many to talk about when I don't really want to make too big of a TBR that I feel pressured. So let me know what's on your Summer TBR, and I will speak to you in my next video. Bye.